Study at your own pace, find your rhythm in the flow. Miss Stacy-Lee, watch the understanding grow. Young minds moving fast, yeah, we moving, we no slow. Light up the screen, let the whole world know. We moving at your pace, winning, moving every race, every race. Step by step we climbing, no need to...
Hello everyone, I'm Miss Stacy-Lee and welcome to the channel where CSEC English A success starts. If you're preparing for the new CSEC English A examination, you're in the right place. Whether you're aiming for grade 1 or simply trying to understand the new SBA requirements, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. In today's lesson, we're going to simplify the new SBA portfolio. By the end of the video, you'll understand what the SBA is, how it works, what each component requires, and most importantly, how to avoid the mistakes that cost students valuable marks. So grab your notebook. Let's begin. Let's begin with a question. Have you ever looked at the SBA guidelines and thought, where do I even start? You're not alone. Every year, students become overwhelmed because they try to understand every component at once. The good news is that once you understand the process, the SBA becomes much more manageable. Today's lesson is designed to give you a big picture understanding before we dive into each component in future lessons. By the end of today's lesson, you should be able to understand what the school-based assessment is, identify each component of the portfolio, understand how group work and individual work fit together, and understand what has changed under the revised syllabus. These foundations are essential because every lesson that follows will build on them. Let's start with the basics. SBA stands for School-Based Assessment. Instead of testing your English skills in a single examination, the SBA allows you to demonstrate those skills over time through research, reflection, writing, and speaking. Think of the SBA as your opportunity to show that you can apply what you've learned, not just memorize information for an exam. One of the biggest advantages of the revised syllabus is that one SBA now satisfies the requirements for both English A and English B. That means one well-prepared portfolio contributes to both subjects. That's great news. The SBA is much more than another assignment. It helps you develop the same skills you need for success in school, university, and the workplace. You'll learn how to research effectively. You'll analyze information from different sources. You'll improve your writing. You'll strengthen your speaking skills. And perhaps, most importantly, you'll learn how to think critically about real-world issues. These are lifelong skills, not just examination skills. Now let's talk about how the SBA is organized. Students work in groups of up to 6 members. The group chooses one broad theme. Each member then selects an individual subtopic connected to that common theme. Although the group collaborates throughout the process, each student still produces an individual portfolio. Think of it like building one large tree. The theme is the trunk. Each student's subtopic becomes one of the branches. Everyone is connected, but each branch grows in its own direction. Now that you understand what the SBA is, let's look at what actually makes up the SBA portfolio. Think of the portfolio as a collection of different pieces of work. Each piece has a different purpose, but together they tell the story of your learning journey. Many students make the mistake of thinking that the SBA is just one assignment. It isn't. It is a portfolio made up of several carefully connected components. Over the next few weeks on this channel, we're going to explore every single one of these components in details. By the end of this series, you'll know exactly how to complete each one successfully. Here's your first SBA success tip. Students who understand the overall process before they begin usually produce stronger portfolios. Don't rush into writing. Take time to understand the structure first. It will save you countless hours later. This is the level of detail that you need to make sure that you pay attention to as you proceed in writing your SBA. The first component is called the Plan of Investigation, or POI. Think of it as the blueprint for the entire SBA. Before you begin researching, your group must decide exactly what you will be investigating and how you intend to investigate it. One important change under the revised syllabus is the official word limit. The plan of investigation should be between 125 and 150 words. That means each sentence must have a purpose. A strong POI is clear, focused, and concise. It doesn't waste words. Later in this series, I'll teach you exactly how to write a Band 1 plan of investigation that aligns with the revised rubric. Okay, it's time to check your knowledge. Let's see what you understand so far. So here's a question. True or false? Everyone submits this exact same SBA. True or false? Of course, the answer is false. Everyone does not submit the exact same SBA. Remember, in the group, there is a shared theme. The group chooses one theme. Each group member selects a different subtopic. So in the end, there are individual portfolios that are submitted to your teacher. Each student creates their own individual portfolio. Once your plan of investigation has been completed, your group will begin gathering information. This information comes from different sources. Sources help you understand your subtopic from different perspectives. However, here's something many students don't realize. Later, I'll show you how to select sources that are reliable, relevant, and rich enough to support excellent reflections. After gathering information, you will complete your reflections. Now, a reflection is not a summary. A reflection explains how your understanding has developed during the research process. You'll think about what you've learned, how the sources influenced your thinking, and how language was used to communicate ideas. Good reflections show personal growth. Excellent reflections demonstrate critical thinking. This is one of the components where students have an opportunity to let their own voice shine. Next comes the writing task. This is your opportunity to create an original piece of writing connected to your own subtopic. Depending on the task you choose, you might produce a narrative, an informative piece, a persuasive response, or a dramatic presentation. This component allows you to demonstrate your creativity while applying the English language skills you've developed throughout your research. We'll spend an entire lesson exploring how to choose the best genre and maximize your marks. Finally, you'll complete your oral presentation. This is your opportunity to communicate your ideas confidently and effectively. Many students become nervous when they hear the word presentation, but remember, you are talking about something you've already spent weeks, probably even months, researching. By the time you reach this stage, you should know your topic better than almost anyone else. Throughout the series, I'll teach you how to organize your ideas, engage your audience, and develop and deliver a confident presentation. By the end, you'll feel prepared, not frightened. The final component of the SBA portfolio is the bibliography. Every source that you use during your investigation must be acknowledged properly. This includes the sources used for your artifacts, whether they are books, articles, websites, interviews, videos, or any other approved source. The revised CSEC SBA requires students to use the APA referencing style when preparing their bibliography. Your references should be complete, accurate, and arranged in alphabetical order. Remember, the bibliography is much more than a list of websites. It is evidence that you conducted genuine research and that you are giving proper credit to the creators of the information you used. Correct referencing is an important part of academic honesty and can earn you valuable marks. We will get in more detail in subsequent lessons about how to complete this portion of the SBA. Now let's spend a little time focusing more on the group and its responsibility. Remember, although each student completes an individual SBA, the planning stage is a group effort. Your very first responsibility as a group is to select one broad theme together. Every member of the group must work under the same theme. Next, the group develops a planning document that includes everyone's individual subtopics. Planning this properly from the beginning will save everyone a lot of time later. Once the group planning is complete, each student begins working independently. This means you are now responsible for your own research. You will locate artifacts, you will complete your own reflections, you will write your own SBA responses. You will prepare and deliver your own oral presentation. Finally, you will create your own bibliography using APA referencing. Even though you started as a group, the quality of your final SBA depends entirely on the work that you produce individually. One of the most important expectations of the SBA is academic integrity. In simple terms, this means being honest. Do not copy another student's work and hand it in as your own. Even if they did it a couple years ago or last year, it's still not your work. Do not copy information directly from websites and pretend it's your own. Do not use artificial intelligence to write your SBA and submit it as if it is your genuine work. The examiners are looking for your ideas, your understanding, and your personal reflection. Whenever you use information from another source, acknowledge it properly in your bibliography. Academic honesty protects your credibility and ensures that the marks you earn truly reflect your own ability. There are several mistakes that students make every year, but the good news is that every one of them can be avoided. The three biggest mistakes are choosing a topic that is too broad, selecting weak or unreliable artifacts, and waiting until the last minute to begin. Over the next few slides, we'll look at each of these mistakes and, more importantly, how you can avoid them. The first mistake is choosing a theme that is simply too broad. A theme like Jamaica, education, or social media is much too large for meaningful research. Instead, your group should narrow the focus. For example, instead of education, you could investigate literacy in primary schools. A focus theme leads to stronger subtopics, better research, and a much easier SBA. The second mistake is selecting weak artifacts. Not every source on the internet is reliable or suitable for the SBA. Avoid random social media posts, anonymous websites, or information that cannot be verified. Instead, choose strong, credible sources such as newspaper articles, educational websites, interviews, documentaries, reports, or other approved source genres that fit your group's agreed source types. Remember, your artifacts form the foundation of your entire SBA. If your sources are weak, your analysis will also be weak. The third mistake is procrastination. Many students wait until just before the deadline to begin researching and writing. That usually leads to unnecessary stress, rushed work, and lower grades. The best approach is to start early. Complete each section as your teacher assigns it. Keep your notes organized. Meet regularly with your group during the planning stage. Working consistently over several weeks produces much better results than trying to complete everything in one weekend. Let's quickly review what we've covered today. You now understand what the SBA is, why it is an important part of your CSEC English A assessment, the major components of the SBA, how the SBA process works from group planning to individual completion, and finally, the difference between group responsibilities and individual responsibilities. These ideas form the foundation for everything you'll do in your SBA journey. In our next lesson, we'll focus on one of the most important decisions you'll make in the entire SBA, choosing the perfect theme and subtopic. I'll show you how to choose a theme that is neither too broad nor too narrow. You'll also learn how to develop strong subtopics that are easy to research and that meet the revised SBA requirements. Trust me, if you get this stage right, the rest of your SBA becomes much easier. Thank you so much for watching. I hope today's lesson has given you a clearer understanding of how the revised CSEC English A SBA works. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you will never miss a lesson. And if you like even more support, including exclusive SBA assistance, worksheets, with your CSEC preparation, consider becoming a channel member. This is something we're working on for the near future. I am Miss Stacy-Lee. Remember, CSEC English A success starts here. I'll see you in the next lesson.